Hello, this is Pazzy, and I'm briefly interrupting our scheduled programming to bring you a video a few people have requested, another quick and easy guide to modding, this time for Baldur's Gate 3. And to make things even easier, I'm going to try to keep it under 5 minutes. If you're interested to see all of the mods I use, my mod list and links to each one is in the description of this video, but for those of you who are new to modding, we'll start with the basics. So if you've watched any of my roleplay episodes, you know that I'm all about creating unique characters with rich backstories connected to D&D lore, and mods can really help you do that, either by adding cosmetic changes to help you differentiate your Tav's look, to add unique weapons and armor, to unlock special spells and abilities for your character in combat, or even to help you choose the most character-driven dialogue options and build relationships in the game. So the first thing you'll need to start modding is to download the Baldur's Gate Mod Manager, which you can find via the link in the description. But basically just follow the installation instructions and you'll be all set. Once you queue up the Mod Manager, it'll ask you to set your game data path, which it should auto-populate for you, but just in case, most of us are playing the game through Steam, so that will be Program Files, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Baldur's Gate 3, and then Data, and you can always double check that first. If you go to Settings and then Preferences, you can also change around some of the settings. For instance, I like to skip the Larian Launcher, but that's totally up to you. After that, we need to make sure we know where these mods are going to end up. So for that, we'll go to our System Files, start with User, App Data, Local, Larian Studios, Baldur's Gate 3, and then the Mods folder. And if you don't have that folder, you can go ahead and create it here. And because the majority of your mod files are going to go in this folder, I recommend that you pin it to quick access so that it's easier to find here in the future. So now it's time to actually choose which mods you want to add to your game, and for that there's only one stop, the Nyxx mods website. If you don't already have an account, make one. As you can see, Nyxx is where you'll go to modify most games. And if we click on Baldur's Gate, we can find thousands of mods to choose from. Honestly, this is probably going to be the longest part of the process since there are so many. Once you've chosen a mod, like here I have Addie's Head Presets, which is an essential mod for me since this is where I get the face that I use for my character Nyxx, you go over to Files, then come down to Manual Download. And after checking to make sure you have all the requirements, you can hit Download again. Once you've downloaded the files, they'll be in a zipped format, so we need to go to the folder, right-click, and then I just extract all of the files into my download folder to make them easier to locate. Most mods will have a little info file, but what we care about is just the pack file. So if it's in that pack format, drag it and drop it into your mods folder that we pinned earlier. And if we did everything correctly, when we come over to the mod loader and hit refresh, our mod should be waiting over here in inactive mods. Then we just have to drag it over to the left side, and we can always reorder it if necessary, but the most essential part is coming up to the top and hitting Save Load Order, and then making sure to export that load order into your game. You can add as many mods as you want after this, just make sure to save and export your load order before playing the game. And you'll also want to launch the game through this mod manager by coming up to this icon in the upper right and hitting Launch Game. The next time you load into the game, the content should be there waiting for you, like in the character creation menu, or if it's gear, you might find it out in a specific location or with a vendor, or you can even get this tutorial chest summoning mod to bring the gear to you. There are of course some rare exceptions to this process, but as long as you read the directions and drop the files in the correct folder, you'll be totally fine. An example of that would be one of my favorite mods, Unique Tav, which asks you to drop some files into that data folder I mentioned before in order to give your Tav a look without affecting any other characters in-game. Like here we see Nyx's infernal script tattoos and scar body texture. And that, my friends, is just about all you need to get modding. I hope you find that the mods really enrich your gameplay. And if you thought this video was helpful, please give it a like. And if you like the sound of my voice, you can hear more of it in my roleplay episodes over on my channel. Nyxx and I can't wait to see you there. Oh god, that was so corny. How do people sign off on these videos?